President Trump is set to meet with Pope Francis at the Vatican in a few hours. What had been a largely by-the-book first foreign trip has now been eclipsed somewhat by the terrorist bombing in England. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts is traveling with the president and reports tonight from Rome. Good evening, John.
And James, good morning from Vatican City here in the heart of Rome. When President Trump meets with the Pope tomorrow, common concern over acts of terrorism like the Manchester bombing may override the sharp differences between the two men. In the Middle East today, the bombing appeared to bring old adversaries somewhat closer together. As he moved to establish the foundation for peace in the Middle East, meeting with the Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas, President Trump today sought to emasculate the Manchester bomber and anyone who would follow in his wake.
So many young, beautiful, innocent people living and enjoying their lives murdered by evil losers in life. I won't call them monsters because they would like that term. They would think that's a great name. I will call them from now on losers, because that's what they are. They're losers.
The bombing served as a tragic exclamation point to what President Trump has been striving to build since he touched down in the Middle East on Saturday, a coalition to eradicate terrorists and the extremist ideology that drives them.
The terrorists and extremists and those who give them aid and comfort must be driven out from our society forever. This wicked ideology must be obliterated. And I mean completely obliterated, and the innocent life must be protected.
President Trump already had buy-in from the Palestinian president, who assured him at Sunday's Saudi Arabian summit that he would join the battle.
Allow me at the beginning to condemn the horrible terrorist attack that occurred in the British city of Manchester.
But the Israeli prime minister today accused Abbas of a double standard. Benjamin Netanyahu insisting Abbas's support to fight terrorism all depends on who the terrorists are.
President Abbas condemned the horrific attack in Manchester. Well, I hope this heralds a real change, because if the attacker had been Palestinian and the victims had been Israeli children, the suicide bomber's family would have received a stipend from the Palestinian Authority. That's Palestinian law. That law must be changed.
President Trump, who laid a wreath today at Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial, believes the stars of a Mideast peace deal may be aligning like never before. Israel and many of its Sunni Arab neighbors are finding common cause in the dual threats posed by Iran and ISIS. The president today promised an unswerving personal commitment on both those fronts.
ISIS targets Jewish neighborhoods, synagogues, and storefronts. And Iran's leaders routinely call for Israel's destruction. Not with Donald J. Trump, believe me.
The president offered similar assurances to British Prime Minister Theresa May in a phone call this morning, pledging that U.S. resolve will never waver in the face of terrorism. The Manchester bombing is also certain to change the tone of the president's last two stops on this 9-day trip, the NATO Leaders Summit in Brussels, Belgium, and the G7 in Sicily. Terrorism, no doubt, will take center stage, which may give a tough-talking president new leverage to seek some of the reforms on security and trade that he's really after. James?
John Roberts traveling with the president. John, thank you.